It's great to have you here during Impact conference in Krakow. When you think about the future, you think more about people or you think more about technology?
That's a great question. I think at the end of the day, it's all about people. And when we talk about technology, technology is made by people. It's made by people, it's made to serve people, to solve people's problems. And so what that means is that when we think of technology, we need to think about the fact that it's not neutral. It's not handed down from up on high. It's something that all of us create, that we human beings create with our own hopes and dreams and also our own mistakes and errors and even biases. Those are all embedded into the technology that we create. And so when I think about the future, it's going to be built by people, augmented through technology, which again is built by people. So it all comes back to human beings at the end of the day.
You work for Microsoft based in New York. When you think about Microsoft, most of the people, they think about Windows. Sorry, the operating system. But on which projects you're working on right now?
So I'll just say Windows is great, Office is great, but at the end of the day, Microsoft as a whole is very much focused on where the future is going. Yeah. And so we're looking at the products that have gotten us as a company through the first 40 years of our existence. And now we're looking at how is the cloud, how is artificial intelligence going to inform and improve those older products, but also create entirely new products that we've never had before. So in terms of what I'm excited about at Microsoft, I'm really excited about what we can do with AI to solve really hard problems, things like the language barrier. I'm here in Poland speaking to you in English because my Polish is, let's just say, not great. And
but you know a few words.
I know a few words. That's the extent of it. But what's really amazing about what machine learning and artificial intelligence can do is bring down that language barrier through machine translation. Mm-hmm. And so most people, when they've tried out some kind of computer-aided translation, it was statistical machine translation. Mm-hmm. And until just a few years ago, that's all that was available. And the quality was okay, it could be helpful in some cases, but nothing like a real human being. And now with machine learning and deep neural nets, we can have a quality that is so much higher than we had before. And in a city like New York, where I live, 49% of households speak a language other than English at home. And so you're dealing with hundreds of different languages being spoken in a community, yet most services are only available in English, in the primary language. And that leaves out a whole bunch of people.
Spanish.
And some in Spanish and some in Chinese. Those are generally the two others that there are substantial numbers of. But even to do that, you have to provide that in a certain neighborhood where you're guessing this is a neighborhood where there might be a lot of Spanish speakers. And so what's amazing is that now with things like Microsoft Translator, which is an app that you can get on your phone or tablet, we've been able to pilot solutions with city government to provide services without that language barrier, where there can be a tablet present, people can speak into a microphone, have it instantaneously translated, and get the service that they want without having to rely on other people.
You work on big data assets, I guess. Yeah. Do you think also about the security of this data? We have in Europe a European directive, GDPR. Sure. We talk about a lot about Cambridge Analytica. Is it an issue for you?
So
security.
GDPR, so security absolutely is an issue. It has to be an issue for everybody.
And the privacy.
So GDPR is a really important point to bring up because we all got the notices on, I think it was May 25th, coming through telling us that our privacy terms were being updated. And a lot of companies, I'll say, I won't name names, I'll just say that they did the bare minimum of what they had to do legally. At Microsoft, we saw it as an opportunity to improve how we were protecting people's privacy across the board, something we've always cared about, but obviously it's something we can always improve on as well. And so we adopted GDPR globally. So even outside of the EU where it was mandated, we said this is just a best practice that we as a company should be adopting and deploying. So to answer the question, we absolutely value privacy, we absolutely value security, and we're working every day to make that happen. Another step on that improving security question is the creation of a team focused on cybersecurity and democracy, and making sure that all free and fair elections globally can happen without interference, without cyber attacks, corrupting the will of the people. So we created a team.
That have happened before.
Maybe. Well, you know, it might be hard to say exactly how much it's impacted elections, but clearly it's impacted elections. Sure. It's something that has been tried, has been done, and we want to make sure that in the future we can have full confidence in elections happening in democratic countries. And so we created this team to really benefit from the experience Microsoft has had going after cyber crime. So criminal networks around the world, Microsoft has been dealing with those for years now. And we're taking some of the same approaches and ensuring that we can protect our elections and our democracies the same way.
One more question. Can you scale up the projects you're working on, for example, with New York City?
Absolutely. So scale, when we think about a project, we think about how can we solve a problem locally in a way that's replicable globally. So we want to make sure that when we solve a problem in New York or in San Francisco or anywhere else, that we're doing it in a way that we can take that solution and share it. So when we think about the jobs that we've done, or the work that we've done on overcoming the language barrier, government services in any language, when we think about the work we've done on skills, making sure that skills are available to unemployed and underemployed people, we do that specifically so that we can adopt that in more cities. And so we've got skills, for example, we've got great work happening around apprenticeships, around skills for veterans of the military, around people who are unemployed and underemployed, around people who are underrepresented in the field of technology. And that's happening in dozens of countries around the world, not just in the United States, not just in New York, but in lots and lots of places.
Thank you for the conversation.
Well, thanks so much. Great to be here.